and gentlemen, my name is Billy Alexander. We are live right here in the PWA studios. And this week, my special guest is none other than the mad conservative Crimefighter. Crimey, appreciate you coming on the show. Oh, you want a fist pound? Okay, I see how that goes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a little bit of a different inside the locker room today. As we all know, the mad conservative Crimefighter is a broadcast journalist, and he's not an active wrestler inside of the wrestling ring. Though he's been around long enough to see a lot of things, go through a lot of things, and deal with a lot of things.
More than most people.
Okay, we'll let him have that one. So we're going to go ahead and get started off with, let's give the fans out there just a little bit of information on who is the mad conservative Crimefighter.
Well, I agreed to this interview. You had to compensate me quite a bit because I've had too many, let's say, so-called journalists who have a very strong bias. And I only agreed to this interview after you had to bribe me quite a bit of money to come on the set, because I've had nothing. I feel more comfortable as an interviewer and not as the interviewed, because the interviewers that I've had over the years are not on the up and up.
Well, you've had me on your show. We've been on other people's shows together.
Yes.
I mean, you've been on Turnbuckle TV with Billy Alexander and the voice of PWA,
Not
the artist.
too long ago, yes.
But I wanted to make sure to get you here. So, besides the point on how I got you here, tell the people out here, who is the mad conservative Crimefighter?
I'm simply a lifelong wrestling fan. Starting from WrestleMania 1 on to the present day. I've watched WWE, I've watched NWA, I've watched NWA Central States, I've watched Global Wrestling Federation, World Class Championship Wrestling, just about any wrestling program that's aired on TV over the years. And I've attended many wrestling shows over my lifetime. WWE house shows. And beginning with the 2000s, I started to attend the independent shows when I discovered that there were independent shows.
So what is it that the mad conservative Crimefighter does? I mean, you talk about these independent shows. We've seen your shows on the MBS. We've seen your new show, the PW...
Pro Wrestling, Central Illinois, this week.
There you go. We've seen what you do, and we've all been part of that, regardless of which promotion you're at that time. What is it that Crimefighter does for the independent scene throughout Central Illinois?
Well, covering the local independent scene, there just wasn't a media outlet to promote St. Louis wrestling or Central Illinois wrestling. All the attention was given towards Chicago and the independent scene up there. Downstate Illinois hasn't been looked on for good. They thought, Chicago for many years thought downstate was inferior. They weren't trained right. They weren't trained by the right people, which was a bunch of nonsense. They've never sent scouts down here to evaluate talent.
Why is that?
Well, you can see it. I mentioned earlier I didn't want to talk politics, but yes.
There's politics in wrestling.
Politics in wrestling, yes. Chicago versus downstate. It's been a systematic problem with the state of Illinois. Chicago's its own little world. It's its own state. And they look down upon us. They think they're superior to everybody else. And thus, St. Louis, it was the jewel of professional wrestling. It was the home of Wrestling at the Chase. It was run by legendary NWA promoter Sam Mushnick.
That's right.
When he went away, things changed down in St. Louis. The wrestling scene in St. Louis wasn't what it once was without Sam Mushnick there. And then there was a period of time where the talent level in and out of St. Louis wasn't as great as it once was. And then it got looked down upon by Chicago. Of course, that was broken by the St. Louis Four, Matt Seidel, Delirious, Mischief, Daisy Hayes, they went to Chicago. They made St. Louis look like it was producing great talent all over again.
So you want to talk about how Chicago has this high level, or they think they're the god of pro wrestling right now.
Superiority.
And then you come down south. You have your down south productions. What about in the middle? What about these independent groups that are in Central Illinois itself? What is it that they need to do or have done to make it to where people up north or down south or even east and west of us are sitting there going, we need to keep an eye on a few of these? What is
the
it?
whole thing is, I've been begging for somebody to cover the St. Louis wrestling scene because it was just not getting the attention it deserved. I finally just caved and started up a blog, St. Louis Wrestling Community, and then started noting where the shows were. I mean, backtrack a little bit, I latched on to New Midwest Wrestling when they had a show at the Soccer World. I mean, they had this write-up in the Illinois Times so many years ago. Yes, you've been begging me to track down my copy, and I should have done that before I got here, but
We'll just take a little bit out of that bribe I gave you for that point of not bringing it.
I guess.
How about that?
2001, I became aware of New Midwest Wrestling running at the Stockyard.
Mm-hmm.
But before I could attend their show, they shut down, probably because they were forced to.
Right.
And then there's that year where waiting for them to run their first show so I could check them out for the first time. Yes, main eventing Guy Smith, who was our PWA champion, was main eventing back then.
Right. What was it in your eyes, Crimefighter? What was it? What happened to New Midwest?
What happened in the West? I mean, it ran for 13 years. Things happen. I mean, no promotion lasts forever. Ownership, creative differences. Venues get lost. New venues are expensive, and there's other players taking them up, and they just did not. And Central Illinois, for the longest time, the state of Illinois is not regulated like Missouri is.
Right.
I have compiled a list of all the promotions in Central Illinois, not Central Illinois, the state of Illinois. There's 50 or so, which is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
So we had a problem of federation sprawl going on. And because there's so many promotions running, there's somewhere to go every week.
Right. And you speak of that as
And New Midwest was kind of crowded out because there was so much competition. So it was better not to run than run a show and lose money on it.
well, a lot of those gentlemen who ran through New Midwest are calling home inside of Pinball Wrestling Association.
To tell you the truth, yeah, PWA started up before New Midwest went away, and PWA kind of was a quasi NXT to New Midwest. But of course, when New Midwest went away, PWA took over as the home of Springfield Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever wanted to be in the professional wrestling business, well, here is your chance now. Make sure to contact Pinfall Academy, 217-572-8054, located at the brand new facility at 101 North 4th Street in Auburn, Illinois. Pinfall Academy, where you can learn to be a wrestler, a referee, a manager, a valet. Anything that has to do with professional wrestling, we'll teach you how to get it done. Pinfall Academy, where the new crop begins. You spoke about all these federations throughout the state of Illinois. The state capital of Springfield, Illinois is currently right now being dominated by Pinball Wrestling Association. You have every which way you can think of when just 25 minutes to the west of us, there's a federation that runs. Just about an hour and a half north, there's a federation. There's rumors of a federation returning just another 22 minutes to the east of us. There's a federation 25 miles to the southeast of us. There's three federations even within an hour and a half drive down south. What is it that these federations have to do just for themselves to make sure, regardless if they travel to different towns or if they stay in one area, what is it that they have to do to keep that so that these other ones don't try to come in or pull away from them?
Well, from what I've seen so far, promotions around here lately have kind of respected each other's zones. So
Territories left like 30-something years ago.
I know territories have left. If somebody's running in like Jacksonville, another fan is kind of stay away and just let you continue running Jacksonville without diluting things by just coming in here, and because fans don't know this other promotion that comes into this town or that town. They kind of stay within their own area. I mean, yes, PWA is running the circuit, and that's not been a common thing. I know promotion out of Champaign-Urbana has run in multiple towns. PWA has been the second one to run in multiple towns recently. And then the one in Peoria has been running in multiple places, but they kind of stayed within a 30-mile radius.
Right.
And of course, then the 300-pound gorilla up in LaSalle.
We'll get to that gorilla here real soon.
Well, that gorilla, I mean, the fans there like the venue and don't want them leaving it.
Right. Well, you know, you speak about that 300-pound gorilla, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. Crimefighter, you were one of the main voices behind the MBS Awards in 2015.
Well, I've been the presenter of the awards, yes.
Well, and I understand that, but I mean, you were one of the main voices in the 2015 MBS Awards that made sure, and you took a lot of grief. You took a lot of backlash, as some would call it. You got shoved to a back burner because of this choice. You were one of the main voices that put Pinball Wrestling Association as the Federation of the Year.
I made a strong case that PWA deserved the award because, you know, look at, before you went to Lanphier, I mean, 2014, but before then, 2013, you just moved into the JC's Activity Center.
Mm-hmm.
What was the average draw there? It was something like 30, 40, 50 a show.
To begin,
up until close to the end of 2014, something happened.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 digits that were being broken on a regular basis, and it was close to full. You're about outgrown that building.
I remember a couple times we had to kind of tell people they had to either leave or
standing room only.
Stand in the very far back corners because I mean it was getting tight in there. It was elbow to elbow. But you made a very strong case, and you made comment of that 300-pound gorilla or whatever. I call him. I mean myself, you know, I refer to him as the 800-pound gorilla around here. But
well, we've also called it. We've referred to it as the gold standard for everybody to look at and kind of draw inspiration from. Now, it's not to say their product is completely flawless, because every promotion has flaws. There's people that have been grumbled about it.
I read the grumblings throughout social media when the rumor came out before it was even broken. The news, the rumor had come out, and myself included, I received a few of those messages prematurely, that you and the MBS were going to award Pinball Wrestling Association the Federation of the Year. And there was a lot of heat that drew up on social media, not only from up north, but all around the central states, right here in Illinois, where the federations around 100% disagreed with you. No matter the
I
case you
understand that. However, Dreamwave, I mean, they've won it like multiple times. But there's something to be said about most improved promotion. Dreamwave had been pretty much consistent. I mean, I laid the weeks after, like a week or two after they won that award, I cut an editorial and laid out the parameters of what a promotion would have to do to take the award away from Dreamwave.
You know the funny thing about it is nobody in PWA even read that article. But look what we did.
It was video. It was like a video editorial on the MBS TV, and PWA stepped up to the plate. And I laid out parameters for Dreamwave as to what they would have to do to take the award again. They pretty much maintained with what they got. They did not, I don't believe they expanded. I mean, they've maxed out their venue, but they're not willing to move to a larger venue where they can hold 1,000 fans. And the Dreamwave fans believe if they don't run in the KC Hall in LaSalle, then it's not Dreamwave to them.
Right, right.
So they've got a glass ceiling that, and the only way they can grow is by video sales. And of course, bring in bigger stars, but they only have so much room. And they can't get any bigger than they are inside that building.
Okay. So let me ask you this, back to the whole point of it. What exactly, how did all of the negative hearsay all over social media and directly to you personally, all that, how did that affect you, Crimefighter? I mean, did that just make you say,
rough.
ha ha, and
But
kind of
the
step
other
on?
Well, I had to weather the storm just like everybody else. Every year, the NBS Awards was in existence, 8. There won't be a 9th. Somebody complained about something every single year. Everybody. Somebody, whether they thought they deserved this award or that award, we told them over every year, send that nomination in and argue why that person or thing or match or whatever should win it over somebody else.
Understandable.
And
9 times out of 10, they never did.
9 times out of 10. Sometimes, most of the time, they just put a name down and nothing else. They didn't give a reason why they deserved such and such award.
Right.
And that's to their, and I've even had people say, well, why wasn't this not a finalist? We did this, blah, 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 blah. Nobody said that nomination in. And the person who's involved in such and such category didn't take the time out of his day to write an email and say, I deserve to win this particular award. And there's thousands of matches every year in Central Illinois. I can't be everywhere.
Right.
I can't see everything. There's not enough hours in the day. I mean, great thing about this year is there's no 9th award. I don't have to spend all of February cramming
Right.
and ordering a ton of DVDs and research. I'm not missing that this year. I'm not missing that.
So you say that you took a lot of
It took forever.
a lot of it to finally kind of die down and go away. With 2016 rolling the corner, I mean, we're
If you're
here.
gonna ask me who would I pick for 2016?
No.
I don't know if I.
We're rolling into 2016. Some federations have already had a show in 2016. Some are ready to start their season here with, the next week or so. Who do you yourself look forward to the most on shows in Illinois, Central Illinois, or wherever, to attend the most, to actually see the action? You've been to every promotion that I can think of that runs through this state. You frequent quite a few of them, and everything else. Who are you looking forward to the most? Just your opinion, the most to look forward to in a 2016 as I can't wait to see what they do this year.
That's hard to answer. I've seen so many. Last year, I've seen 57 independent shows last year. Prior year to that, 61. Do I mark out if I see somebody on a lineup? Not really. Does that mean I'm not desperate to go to the show? I mean, if a show's happening locally, I spend the time out of my weekend to support the because there's so many people from the like, homegrown talent that I want to see make it
Right.
to the big time. And there's been some that have.
Some that have, some that are just now, some that some people say maybe within the next few years might.
Yes.
But only time tells on those.
Right.
So let's fast forward
It's
a little
hard to
bit.
tell who is going to make it though.
Right?
And a lot of the times it's how much do they want it?
You-
How far are they willing to go to get it?
You got to put it in to get it. If you don't put it in to get it, then you can't complain that you didn't get it.
Right.
So let's move forward a few here and start to wrap up here. What is the whole premise? What is the idea behind the new show that you have out on YouTube and social media right now?
And public access TV. It's on Access 4, Comcast Cable in Springfield, and Urbana Public TV, Channel 6 in Champaign-Urbana. It's pretty much like the old EBS show. We showcase talent from all the promotions in Central Illinois. Now we're going to diverge a little bit because I went down to St. Louis because there's a promotion down there that is filling their building every month, but they're not getting the attention like Dreamwing is. Why? I don't know. It's at a venue that's been around since the 19th century of all things. But I want to basically showcase talent from all the local promotions, bring greater awareness that there's pro wrestling in Central Illinois, that you can have your home team and root for it like you do with your high school, like you're rooting your football team or your baseball team or your basketball team to the finals. Local fans can latch on to one of the local promotions or the local talent and cheer them on and hope and just follow them until they reach the big time or decide to ride off into the sunset. That's what the purpose is. It's bringing out awareness of professional wrestling that's here in this local area.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you've seen a couple of the episodes here. The last thing that we always do is we always do word association.
All right.
Basically-
I did it too. I hadn't done it in a long time.
Basically, I'm gonna throw a name out, and you're just gonna tell me off the top of your head, what your idea or your thought of it is. So the first thing we're gonna start with, of course, is in everybody's mind right now because there's a lot of buzz on the internet, a lot of things going on. So I'm gonna shift a little. Give me your thoughts. Winner of the Royal Rumble this weekend.
No idea.
And there's a lot of
I'm
news
sure-
buzzing around.
Yeah, but
so
you
and
can't
so and
believe-
so and so.
You can't believe it.
Well.
You can't believe it.
I don't know.
And sure, people are gonna think Roman Reigns gonna air #1. Of course, that's a definite. McMahon's want the belt off of Reigns and onto somebody else. Who? Don't know. I don't even know who's going to be in the Rumble because there's been rumors of this guy or that guy entering that's just been signed or coming back off of injury.
The biggest names that are being thrown around this year as #1 favorites, of course, are Roman Reigns, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker. There's even been, rumors of Daniel Bryan making a return. So, I mean,
If they even are, they're tired of being so daggone scared about him getting another concussion. There's been other wrestlers that are worse off condition than he is, and yet nobody's talking about them retiring.
right. So, just off the top of your head, if you were to pick one person, who would it be?
I'm hoping Roman Reigns retains.
Okay.
It's the easy choice, but I don't think that, it may end up being Triple H. And then Triple H versus Roman in WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, wait.
If Daniel Bryan shows up, then all those plans go to heck.
Right. All right. So the next one I want to throw out here, Pinball Wrestling Association.
Most improved promotion. Would they have won promotion of the year in the 9th MBS Awards? Probably not, because you can have one major improvement year. But yeah, pinball is going to have it's carved its own niche, and it's going to maintain it. When you get to the Prairie Capital Convention Center and run an event there, time will tell. But prerequisite is fill Lancaster High School full.
Okay. How about...
You can't draw like 100, 200 people in the Prairie Capital. That's all I'm saying.
Right. How about Zero Hype Guy Smith?
Veteran, Mr. NMW. I wish he would make the big time. It's overdue. I'd like to see him travel more than just kind of stay in this one halo.
You ever go tell him that?
Oh, yes, plenty of times.
What's he tell you?
He's worried about travel costs. And losing money. That's his usual excuse. Gas prices have gone way down, so maybe.
All right. The retirement of Eric Logan.
Yeah, that's a big loss. I mean, it's just, there's been several retirements of people that started up in, who I saw in 2002, the first Midwest show. Eric Logan's just the latest one. And he's been at it for like 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I made for him an anthology DVD, and he got chills when he read the word anthology. Yeah, he's going to be missed, but will he stay away forever? You know how many times Terry Funk has come back from retirement, and now he's in his 70s.
And still doing stuff. How about the returning Bradley Stevens III and part 2, the return of Brian Ely?
Well, Bradley Stevens was gone a lot longer than Brian Ely was.
Stevens is gone for many years.
Like 5 times. Disappeared in about 2007 and didn't really make a real comeback until 2014.
Yep.
So it was 7 years. Yeah, and he's won titles already in his early career. Not at PWA yet, but other places. So, and he's gotten himself a real stylized ring gear. Looks great. And he had that great match against Bob Orton.
Yep. What about Brian Ely, part 2?
Brian Ely, yeah. He came back from that heart attack. And
Were you among one of them skeptics that said he would never be able to get it back? Honestly?
I'm leery about, well, a lot of wrestlers we've lost over the years. It's been by heart attack. Jerry Lawler almost was taken by a heart attack. He's back in the ring. I'm worried about his health wrestling after having a heart attack. Well, because your heart could stop just at any time. I mean, it's scary.
Right. How about...
Ely's much younger than Jerry Lawler.
Well, yeah, by about 30
years. Yeah.
So we'll finish up here with the mad conservative crime fighter. Don't make your head swell on my camera now.
I'm not into self-aggrandizement. I'll just say that the 1991 Nintendo Campus Challenge National Champion, and 2016 is the 25th anniversary of that.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm feeling old.
Well, we won't get into ages around here. So
I've gotten tell you the truth, I've got my arcading kick back. I'm doing more video games arcade stuff than I've done in previous years because my time has been dominating video editing, the TV shows and DVDs. And somehow you talked me into authoring the PWA DVDs to help Kluge out.
So, January 30th, live at Lanphier is PWA's first show in 2016. Is there anything on the card that you know of that you're looking forward to?
I'm just looking forward to a huge crowd to watch the event and entertaining matches and seeing what the PWA Pinball Academy can create and put in the ring. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I'm looking to see what tone PWA will set with the first show of the year and how things move along, the trajectory of the promotion as we move towards spring and then the summer, the fall.
Okay.
And where you might be going.
All right.
We're talking about expansion again to a fourth city.
See what happens.
Maybe this one.
Crimefighter, we appreciate you stepping foot on the scene today. We appreciate you sitting in. Appreciate you coming in on the show. Ladies and gentlemen.
Surprising me with a surprise interview like the day I walk in for the round table.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Billy Alexander live right here from inside the locker room with special guest, the Mad Conservative Crimefighter. We'll see you next week.